We've seen a lot this year, discussions of lawyers using ChatGPT or other AI tools for legal research. I will be the person to say, they are not legal research tools. Please do not use them for legal research.
Yeah.
But there are lots of tools that are working to become legal research tools with AI built in. I know that the larger research tools rolled out some of their own developments from that perspective. There are startups like Describe AI, Paxton AI, AnyLaw, who are all working to provide legal research with those AI tools built in as well. So be sure to be checking out some of the new things that are out there and available.
How do business owners planning to use generative AI think about pricing, i.e., a business will pay extra for an AI tool that would lead to a reduction in billable hours? You have thoughts on that, Kelly?
So for purposes of the law firm for ESI attorneys, we absolutely want to embrace any tool that allows us to do things more efficiently and effectively. And I think when you really talk to lawyers, and so many of the firms these days that are developing chief innovation officers, they will tell you that they want to be able to leverage these things. I don't know any lawyers who don't have too much to do. So if we could reduce the time spent on tasks that take a long time to do, but reap very little benefit for our clients, whether that's review, summarizing things, those kinds of things, I think it's of a huge value. In terms of pricing and that impact, I'm not sure. Will a business pay extra for an AI tool that could lead to a reduction in billable hours? I would think yes. I don't know why you wouldn't. There are a lot of other questions I would want to ask. And I think we're at the cusp of what Gen AI can unlock. But I think, yes, I think you pay. It's always a cost benefit analysis, right? If the ROI tool is here and the cost of paying per billable hours here, you just have to factor in what are the unknowns, right? I have not found yet in using Gen AI that it in any way replaces legal analysis.
We've talked about the organizations you founded, but we haven't talked about one of your most recent accolades, adjunct professor of eDiscovery, principles in technology at the University of Colorado Law School. What did you find teaching students?
Oh, I loved it. But a couple of takeaways. One, just because these students have been using mobile devices for most of their lives, they do not know anything more about electronic discovery than someone who hasn't been using the devices. There's not an increased level of knowledge. I mean, I have a lot of people say to me, oh, well, young people are going to know because they use this technology. But they don't. They're using it, as we all do, to create, store, send, and receive information. But they're not thinking about how to go and get that information for purposes of litigation or the complexities of the types of files that are stored or how they can piece all that information together. And so it's really starting with anyone who doesn't know anything about electronic discovery. But what is wonderful about teaching it right now is there are so many issues in the press that allow you to provide great examples of why it's not theoretical, right? I mean, all of the video and text messages from so many of the January 6th hearings and so many of the impeachment hearings and things that have gone on over the last few years provide a huge way to show you that everybody's using these forms of communication, all the WhatsApp discussions that happen in the ambassador issues. And so that was great. I'm going to take this opportunity, because I haven't really done it, to give huge shout outs to the people who joined me. Some of my colleagues joined me, retired Judge Mac McCoy, who's a former magistrate judge in the Middle District of Florida, came on and gave a terrific presentation to the students. David Horgan of Relativity talked about AI. Joy Morale from Practice Aligned Resources came and talked about the litigation support process. I think one of the best moments was one student came back to class and said, oh my gosh, I went to work this week and I had to write a legal hold letter. And if I had class, I never know what that was. So it was fantastic. There are also a huge number of folks across the country who are also teaching eDiscovery. And I couldn't name all of them. Bill Hamilton, who teaches at the University of Florida, which is the impetus for putting on the University of Florida eDiscovery Conference, is tremendous in the space. And Tessa Jacob, who teaches at UMKC with another professor. There are just so many folks across the country who are teaching, and we're just so grateful that they're trying to bring that education to students. And we do provide eDiscovery Assistant for purposes of education. I really want to allow them to leverage that tool to get students where they need to be.
That's awesome.